Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask Wall Street. The AI race is moving incredibly fast. Almost every month, we hear about a new model claiming better benchmarks, better reasoning, or better coding. So, when Kimi K3 was released, many people asked a simple question: is it better than ChatGPT or Claude? But after looking deeper, I think that's actually the wrong question. The real story isn't another benchmark, it's a shift that could change how the entire AI industry works. To understand Kimi K3, we first need to understand today's AI landscape. Right now, there are two major groups competing to build the world's most powerful AI models. The first group is the closed model companies. These include OpenAI with ChatGPT, Anthropic with Claude, and Google with Gemini. Their models are among the most capable in the world, but you can only access them through their services or APIs. You never receive the model itself. The second group is the open weight ecosystem. Companies like Meta with Llama, Alibaba with QN, DeepSeek, Mistral, and now Moonshot AI with Kimi K3 are taking a different approach. Instead of only providing access to the model, they're giving developers access to the model itself. And that's where things become interesting. Let's simplify one technical concept. When an AI model is trained, it learns by adjusting trillions of tiny numerical values called weights. Think of these weights as everything the model has learned about language, coding, reasoning, science, and mathematics. If the training process is like going to school, the weights are the knowledge stored in the brain after graduation. Every answer the model gives comes from those learned weights. That's why many AI researchers simply say the weights are the model's brain. Most leading AI companies never release that brain. You can ask questions, but you never own it. Kimi K3 changes that. So, what happens when a company decides to release those weights? That's the difference between closed models and open weight models. With a closed model, like GPT or Claude, you can use the AI through an app or an API, but the weights never leave the company's servers. You don't control the model, you can't run it yourself, and you can't deeply customize how it works. An open weight model changes that. The company releases the trained weights, allowing organizations to download the model and run it on their own infrastructure. They can fine tune it with their own data, adapt it to their own industry, integrate it into their own products, keep sensitive information inside their own environment. In other words, instead of simply using AI, they can build with AI. And that's exactly what makes Kimi K3 so important. It isn't the first open weight model, but it is one of the strongest open weight models ever released, bringing frontier level capabilities much closer to the broader AI community. So, what happens if frontier AI becomes widely available? The impact goes far beyond software. It could reshape the entire AI industry. With closed models, infrastructure is owned by a handful of AI companies. They train the models, host the models, and serve millions of users from their own data centers. But open weight model create different dynamic. Thousands of organizations can run their own. Banks can deploy AI inside their private infrastructure. Hospitals can build models that never send sensitive patient data to external servers. Manufacturers can customize AI for their own factories. Governments can run advanced AI while keeping critical information under their own control. And startups no longer have to build a frontier model from scratch. They can start with a powerful open weight foundation and focus on creating better products. This also changes the demand for AI infrastructure. Every organization that deploys a model needs GPUs, AI servers, networking, storage, and engineering talent. In other words, open weights don't reduce the need for AI infrastructure. They distribute that demand across a much larger ecosystem. That's why companies building AI infrastructure, from GPU manufacturers to cloud providers, are watching this trend very closely. So, where does this leave the AI industry? I don't think Kimi K3 replaces ChatGPT. I don't think it replaces Claude or Gemini. That's not the real story. The real story is that we are moving from a market dominated by a handful of AI companies to an ecosystem with many powerful competitors. On one side, companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google continue building highly capable proprietary models through their own platforms. On Meta, Alibaba, DeepSeek, Mistral, and now Moonshot AI are rapidly advancing the open weight ecosystem. This competition benefits everyone. Developers have more choices, enterprises have more flexibility, researchers can innovate faster, and customers gain access to better AI at lower cost. The future of AI may not belong to one dominant model. It may belong to the ecosystem that attracts the most developers, builds the strongest applications, and creates the most value. Kimi K3 isn't important because it won another benchmark. It's important because it represents another major step toward that future. A future where AI isn't controlled by just a few companies, but is built by an entire global ecosystem. And that's why Kimi K3 matters.